Neighbor's complaint triggers gunman to kill 5 people in Texas home. On Friday night, a domestic dispute over shooting in a yard escalated into a tragic event that left 5 people dead, including a child. Francisco Oropeza, who had been shooting his gun in his yard, was asked by his neighbor Wilson Garcia to stop the gunfire, as it was disturbing Garcia's baby. Authorities reported that Oropeza had been drinking and refused to comply, claiming it was his yard and his rules. When Garcia warned that he would call the police, Oropeza went back into his house, only to re-emerge with an AR-15. Oropeza proceeded to shoot and kill Garcia's wife, who had called the police and was standing near the entrance of their home. The attack continued inside Garcia's residence, where Oropeza shot 4 other people, almost execution style. The terrifying incident, which took place in Cleveland, Texas, about 45 miles northeast of Houston, is the latest in a series of shootings resulting from minor disputes or misunderstandings. Earlier this month, similar incidents occurred in Missouri, upstate New York, and Texas, where victims were shot after accidentally ringing the wrong doorbell, driving into the wrong driveway, or entering the wrong car. Following the attack on Friday night, authorities launched a massive search for Oropeza, who had fled the scene and remained at large as of Saturday evening. 3 additional people were hospitalized with injuries, and their conditions were not immediately known. The victims were all from Honduras, according to officials. The San Jacinto County Sheriff's Office confirmed that 4 people were pronounced dead at the scene, while a 5th person died at a hospital. The FBI identified the victims as Sonia Guzman, 25, Diana Velasquez Alvarado, 21, Jeliza Molina Rivera, 31, Jose Jonathan Casares, 18, and Daniel Enrique Lasso, 8. There was conflicting information about a 15-year-old girl who was also reported to be among the victims. Several law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, were searching homes and wooded areas on foot and with drones to find Oropeza. San Jacinto County Sheriff Greg Capers said in a phone interview that Oropeza was known to frequently fire an AR-15 in his front yard. Wilson Garcia, who moved to the United States from Honduras 3 years ago, said he had never experienced any issues with Oropeza in the past. In fact, Oropeza had once helped Garcia take down a tree. After Oropeza shot his wife, he chased Garcia, who escaped through a window and ran outside. Oropeza then returned to Garcia's house to finish off the other victims. Garcia eventually went back to his home to retrieve his 2 children, who had been hiding in a closet during the shooting. 2 women had been killed while trying to protect the children, a 6-week-old boy and a 3-year-old girl, who both survived. Ramiro Guzman, the brother of Garcia's wife, said that when Garcia had asked Oropeza to stop shooting near their house, Guzman sensed danger and advised his sister to leave. She did not think Oropeza would harm them, but moments later, he shot her and quickly moved to the living room, where he killed Guzman's nephew. Guzman hid in a closet with his wife and 6-month-old son, hearing the gunman continue to shoot family members. He attempted to call the police, but service was poor, so he called his aunt and asked her to contact law enforcement. In total, there were 10 to 12 people in the house during the shooting. Sheriff Capers reported that each victim had been shot from the neck up, almost execution style. Enrique Reina, the foreign minister of Honduras, stated on Twitter that the Honduran consulate was in contact with Texas authorities and monitoring the situation. He demanded that the full weight of the law be applied against those responsible for the crime. Susan Ard, a spokeswoman for the Cleveland Independent School District, said the district was aware of 1 victim, a 3rd-grade boy who attended Northside Elementary School. She expressed the district's prayers and thoughts for the families and community impacted by this tragedy. In the predominantly Latino rural community, neighbors were shocked by the attack, noting that the sound of gunfire in the area was a common occurrence. Veronica Pineda, a local resident, said she did not know Oropeza and his family personally, but they had been living in the neighborhood for about 5 years and were known for hosting parties late into the night. Guadalupe Calderon, another neighbor, expressed her surprise at the shooting, emphasizing the importance of neighbors looking out for one another. Ramiro Guzman, who had left Honduras 5 years ago to escape violent gangs and seek safety with his family in Cleveland, lamented the loss of his family members in the attack. As the manhunt for Oropeza continues, the community remains in shock and mourning for the lives lost in the tragic incident. The shooting is yet another painful reminder of the persistent issue of gun violence in the United States, as well as the need for dialogue and understanding between neighbors to prevent such devastating outcomes.